The scripture reading this morning is John 8, verses 33 through 36. Pew Bible, page 1060. Pew Bible, page 1060, John 8, 33 through 36. They answered him, "We are Abram's descendants and have never been slaves to anyone. How can you say that we shall be set free?" Jesus replied, "I tell you the truth, everyone who sins is a slave to sin. Now a slave has no permanent place in the family, but a son belongs to it forever. So if the Son sets you free, you will be free indeed." May the Lord bless the reading of his word.
Is America a Christian nation? Depending on your age, the older you are, there's more of a chance of you answering yes, and the younger you get, the percentage of people who answer that question yes diminishes. A higher percentage of people answer yes if you're older to is America a Christian nation. A lower percentage of people answer yes, is America a Christian nation if you're younger. Here's the reason. Depends on what you've been taught in school. The common teaching in public schools today is that America was founded by deists. In other words, simple believers in God. But if you go back to the original writings and sayings of the founding fathers, you find something that, depending on your age, may either confirm what you already believe or be a surprise to you. I want to read a few quotes. George Washington, first U.S. president. "To the distinguished character of patriot, it should be our highest glory to add the more distinguished character of Christian." John Adams, second president, signer of the Declaration of Independence. "I will avow that I then believed and now believe that the general principles of Christianity are as eternal and as immutable as the existence and attributes of God. The general principles on which the fathers achieved independence were the general principles of Christianity." Thomas Jefferson, the third president and drafter of the Declaration of Independence. "I am a real Christian, that is to say, a disciple of the doctrines of Jesus Christ." John Hancock, you've heard of him. When somebody gives you a paper to sign, what do they tell you to do? Put your John Hancock on there, right? His name is the biggest one on the Declaration of Independence. "Resistance to tyranny becomes the Christian and social duty of each individual. Continue steadfast and with a proper sense of your dependence on God. Nobly defend those rights which heaven gave and no man ought to take from us." James Madison, the fourth president. "Cursed be all that learning that is contrary to the cross of Christ." Benjamin Rush, who also signed the Declaration of Independence. "Christianity is the only true and perfect religion, and in that proportion as mankind adopts its principles and obeys its precepts, they will be wise and happy." Patrick Henry, what's his most famous quote? "Give me liberty or give me death," said this: "The Bible is a book worth more than all the other books that have ever been printed. It cannot be emphasized too strongly or too often that this great nation was founded not by religionists, but by Christians, not on religions, but on the gospel of Jesus Christ." And lastly, I want to read to you a quote from John Jay, who was the first Chief Justice of the U.S. Supreme Court and President of the American Bible Society. Now think about that for a minute. What are the chances of that happening today? That you would be the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of the United States of America and President of the American Bible Society. Yet this man was, and he said this: "In forming and settling my belief relative to the doctrine doctrines of Christianity, I adopted no articles from creeds, but such and only as, on careful examination, I found to be confirmed by the Bible. Now, there could be some argument as to whether or not the United States of America is a Christian nation today. But it is abundantly evident that we started out that way. The people who founded our country, who authored our most important documents, were followers of Christianity. Now, I'm going to read something to you to describe a country, and you guess what country it is. Okay? 5 descriptions. In this country, a rapid increase of divorce, the undermining of the dignity and sanctity of the home, which is the basis of human society. Number 2, higher and higher taxes and the spending of public money for free bread and entertainment for the people. Thirdly, a mad craze for pleasure, with sports becoming every year more exciting and more brutal. Fourthly, the building of gigantic armaments when the real enemy was within, the decadence of the people. And lastly, the decay of religion, faith fading into mere form, losing touch with life, and becoming impotent to warn and guide the people. What country does that describe? You're both right. That is actually from Edward Gibbon's The Decline and Fall of the Roman Empire. But does it not sound like it could be describing the United States of America? We live in the greatest nation on earth. Mary and I were out to eat Friday night, and at a table behind us, there was a man talking very loudly, talking about how he has traveled the world, and he's amazed by how Americans think that America is the best. This guy, from my intentional eavesdropping, I came to the conclusion he was American. In fact, he's a doctor at a local hospital. And how arrogant Americans are to think that we're any better than any place else. And I kind of think if I had not had my wife with me, I might have turned around and said, I'm one of those people that think that we live in the greatest country on earth. But even so, a lot of our freedoms are eroding at a very increasing pace. There's a lot of debate about the right to bear arms. The right to life has been nearly destroyed when a woman can choose to kill her unborn child. The right to freedom of religion has deteriorated to a belief that is freedom from religion. We're told that everybody is created equal, yet there are people that get preferential treatment based on what they look like. In John 8:36, it says, if the Son shall make you free, you shall be free indeed. And in 8:32, you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. Here's what I want you to know this morning.